Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the GUIDO. I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by the YouTube page. It means a lot to me that you're here. Here's what I know. You could be anywhere, watching anything, doing anything, and the very fact that you're here right now means a whole lot to me. So thank you for that. A couple months ago, I started doing some interviews inside of a GTA roleplay community that I was a part of, the Academy. And I thought it'd be really cool to get an opportunity to meet some of the people that make the community happen. They're so cool. They're interesting. There's a lot of laughs that happen, but I wanted to kind of meet the real person behind the characters in the city. So I started doing some interviews, and we've had several interviews that we've done so far. You can check them all out on the YouTube page here. But this interview is really cool because we actually talked to the director of the Academy Roleplay server, and his name's Ryan, and we had a really great conversation about all things Academy, all things RP, and all things GTA 5. It was a really good conversation. I know that you're going to love it if you'll hang around and watch it for just a couple of minutes. It actually got to a point in the conversation where I said this. It hit me in my no-no spot. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for it. It happened. You're just gonna have to watch it to see and understand what I'm saying. It's a whole thing. But nonetheless, man, check out the video. I think you'll really enjoy the conversation that we have, especially if you like the Academy and if you like GTA RP, you're going to like this video. Before I get to it, though, if you're interested in GTA RP, or maybe you're even interested in the Academy, you're looking for a community to be a part of, I want to invite you to come hang out with us. There's a link that just popped up right here. Yeah, right, this one right here. Go to that link. It'll also be in the description. I mean, it tells you all about what the community is about, what we do, how we operate, and the mission of bridging the gap. And so you want to check that out, I promise, if you haven't already done so. Hey, one last thing while you're here before we get to the video. If you haven't done so already, will you hit the thumbs up button? It lets me know that you stopped by. It lets me know that you like the video. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want to as well. Kind of let me know what questions should I ask. What did you think about the conversation we had? And if you really want to help your boy out, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be alerted whenever we post new videos that are coming up. All right? I really do appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And now let's get to the conversation with Director Ryan. Well, hey, thank you so much for agreeing to jump into the interview. I reached out and you were like, absolutely, and we got it locked in, and so I appreciate that. I know that you're a busy fella. I know you got a lot on your plate, a lot of things to juggle and to handle, and so for you to take some time to hang out with us a little bit, man, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for that, sir.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Let's start here.
All
Why
right.
don't you just, man, just kind of introduce yourself. So we know Ryan. We know that you're the director of TARP, and we'll talk about that. But man, introduce you, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I am 27. I always have to think because I always get 27 or
I
28.
always forget how old I am, bro.
Yes. And then I work for the federal government. I'm a workers' comp specialist, so that's what I do by day. By evening, it's many different things on TARP. So, in the city, a lot of people know me by just in time. So,
Okay.
outside of the city, I'm busy with family stuff, usually DIY projects, doing things like that. I might be muted.
You're good. I can hear you. Can y'all hear him, guys? I hear you on my end,
Okay.
and you're coming up as sound. So no,
Okay.
you're good. Okay, they're saying
Okay.
we're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Good. Awesome. I got a message. So
Hey, I have done that before, bro. I am notorious for not knowing how to work my stuff. So,
hey,
you,
technical issues.
you do got to be checking on me sometimes because I'm out
Hey,
here, bro.
Hey, I just got a message, so I just let you know.
No, I appreciate
I
that.
ain't watching the stream, so
No,
I don't know what's going on.
yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Um, so outside TARP, I kinda hang out with, my family whenever I get a chance. Usually keeps me busy. My parents just bought a new home back in April, and they did
Nice.
quite a bit of remodels. So, busy over there doing that. So, quite a handyman myself. So,
Okay.
anytime I working around the house, do little upgrades here and there.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about DIY stuff. I'm not a handy guy whatsoever. So I'm always impressed by people that are. So let me ask a couple questions here. The first one is, what is your least favorite thing? Like, if someone to call you, if I was like, yo, bro, I need you to help me with some stuff. What is the last thing you want to come out of my mouth?
Electric.
Okay.
I I do not like doing
Okay.
now. I'm good at it, but I hate doing it.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I
All right.
hate doing it.
Now, is it the fear of like getting shocked, or just all of the complications of?
The liability that comes with it is what really scares me. I
I
don't
got you.
mind like changing a light switch, but when it comes to like, oh, let's add a new breaker, let's run a new line, and nah, that starts to scare me some. So
Yeah, yeah. I got you. Okay. All right. So let's reverse that. What are you most excited? I'll call you up. I'm like, yo, I need your help with this. What are you most excited that's coming out of my mouth?
most excited, man, that anything that has to do with like putting something together, building something.
Okay.
I would say within the last year, I put 2 garage doors openers together and, like, replaced the garage doors. So,
Nice.
I like putting things together.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, I actually got this shelf in my office I need to put together. So whenever you get the chance, just come on and
I'll head right down.
I just I just messed it. Very cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a handy guy. Like I don't one of my three least favorite things to do is paint. Um, and so I'm not for it. But
I'm not a big painter.
okay, that at least we have common ground on that. Yeah, it drives me crazy. I will put something together. I just don't want to paint it.
Yeah.
Drives me bonkers.
My dad loves to paint, so when I'm like, "Hey, dad, I need my house painted," he usually comes over.
There you go. All right, so now I know who to call. Lady Assault said something about how much you love to pressure wash. Um,
Oh my so so I downloaded the game Pressure Washer Simulator and was just like going crazy on it. And Denny gave me some crap over it. So he's
okay,
like, "You want to pressure wash? Just go outside and do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I do need to pressure wash my house, but this is just more fun."
yeah, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, yeah, it's more fun, 100%. Um, so all right, so you love DIY stuff. You are, you know, and you live in West Virginia, is that right?
I do. I
Okay,
live in Parkersburg, right
okay,
on the West Virginia high border.
okay, nice man, very good. All right, so you're not doing DIY stuff, you're not doing TARP stuff, you're not working. Um, is there anything else that ever fills your time? Like if there's like one
Netflix,
other ounce of time that you've got, what is it that you might be filling that with?
probably binge watching some Netflix.
Okay. What's the last
I'm
thing that you binge watched?
right now I'm rewatching Madam Secretary.
Okay.
I'm really big on like the political shows.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just from working in government,
Yeah.
but it's really interesting. So
Yeah. I have watched Madam Secretary. I have not finished it. Do you like West Wing? Have you watched West Wing at all?
I've not watched Westwood.
It's pretty good, man.
So
If you like government shows, you definitely might really like that one. The last show that we binge watched together, that we watched, my wife and I watched together, was, man, I can't even remember the name of it. That's how I guess less impactful it was. It's the show that's got Steve Martin and Selena Gomez and Martin Short in it. It's on Hulu. It's about, I think it's like Murder in the Building. Maybe that's what it's called. Murders in the Building. Have you heard of that at all?
I am not a Hulu person. I
Okay.
am 100% Netflix.
Yeah, we I probably shouldn't say this over the intranets, but we use our family Hulu.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
family shared Hulu.
We got that too. I pay for Netflix, someone else pays for Hulu, and then we all share the Amazon. So
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Perfect. We are also watching She-Hulk right now. Have you watched that at all? No.
hmm,
Are you into like Marvel, DC stuff at all? Is that any of
mm-mm,
that kind of stuff your vibe? No.
nope. I mean, I was born in '95, so like everybody like my age was really big into like the Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, Yogimon, none of that. I not into any of that either.
Okay. Star Wars.
Nope. Harry
Okay.
Potter, not really.
Okay. All right. All right. This may be controversial. What I'm about to say. I had never watched any of the Harry Potters, and my kids were like, "Yo, we wanna watch Harry Potter," and I was like, "All right, bet, let's do it." We got we got 2.5 in, and we were. This is gonna hurt some feelings. I know it. They were so boring. They were
Oh,
so boring, and we couldn't finish them. We couldn't finish the third one. We did finish the first two, and we were halfway through the third one, and we were like, "Yo, we're done."
yeah. I watched most of them just because when I was younger, my grandmother would take us to the movies, and that's what was the big movie back then growing up.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we usually went and see. So
Okay. All right. So there's a couple of things that we tend to end up talking about one way or the other in our interviews. One of these is new, but I think it's important. Um, should one put their Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving or not?
I'll be controversial here. I don't put up a Christmas tree.
Okay. All right.
So I mean, I'm single, live by myself,
Yeah.
just me and my dog. There's no need for a Christmas tree.
Okay. All right.
So
Hey, I respect it. I think if I was in that situation, I would probably do the same thing. So I totally get that. Because here's what I would do: I would put up a tree. It'd be a fake tree, and then I would never take it down, and it would literally just be there all year.
yep, over in the corner.
Yeah, and it would be
Yeah,
dusty, and it'd just be a whole thing. So
yeah.
that's probably why I would not do that. Okay, that's important. Second thing is this. It's already kind of been decided, but I would like to get your opinion. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
All right. So I was a big like, oh, that's disgusting. Pineapple does not belong on pizza
Yeah,
until I tried it.
yeah,
I tried like it is amazing. Uh,
yes, it is.
It does not belong on pepperoni pizza, but if throw it on ham pizza,
Okay,
that's where it's at.
all right. So yeah, we have a that is the correct answer. Just want to let you know that, sir. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you answering that way.
Yes.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. And I felt like I had the same response. I was like, oh, no, pineapple on pizza, I'm out. And then I was
Yeah.
somewhere and it was like the only option. And I was like, yo, this is legit.
I'll tell you where I tried it. It was at the TARP uh at the ice cream social. We
Yes.
we had um we everybody came back to the Airbnb. We ordered pizza,
Uh huh.
and that's when I tried it, and
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right.
This is pretty good." So
Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Diddy said official stance through two directors. Pineapple does belong on pizza. I agree.
yes,
Let's stamp it. Really,
yep.
it's not really a debate. It's just kind of you know trying to get people's opinions about it. So,
Oh yeah.
all right, very cool, man. So let's talk about this. You have been obviously you play video games. You play the pressure washing game.
Mm-hmm.
You played GTA 5 at some point. Got connected to a community. We'll talk about that. What other kind of games are you into? Are you a gamer? Like I guess let's start there. Are you a gamer?
Yeah. So like the earliest game I remember playing is Super Mario. It that's kind of what I remember having, and then like went over to Nintendo 64 and then PlayStation, and kind of went up from there. Right now I'm really big into Civ 6.
Okay.
There's a group of us that kind of migrate from game to game. So right now we're really big into Civ 6.
Okay. Awesome, man. Very cool. Um, Console guy, computer guy.
I was a console guy until about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So
All right. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox all the way.
I got you. All right. All right. I've always been a PlayStation guy. I think I've told this before. A couple years ago, we had no video game systems. Probably about 5 years ago, we had nothing. I'd always played games, but it had been several years that I didn't have anything. And then one Christmas, I got my one daughter a Switch, and I got my other daughter a PlayStation. And then I didn't know this, but my mom bought me a PlayStation 4 for Christmas that year. It's before the 5 was out. And so we ended up with all three. And then my wife's sister got her an Xbox. So we got more Xboxes, but I'm still a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, once like after the PlayStation 2, like we switched over to Xbox 360, and then it was kind of over.
I got you. Now, do you think I was actually having this conversation with somebody today, earlier today? They were talking about the transition from controller to mouse and keyboard. Are you a mouse and keyboard player? And what was that transition like for you?
I'm kind of hybrid. I will switch back and forth between the two. I have my controller right next to me, but it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, I can get away with it. I'm probably one of the worst drivers in the city. You
Okay.
can just ask Ricky. But
Nice.
I just, I mean, it don't matter to me. I can do either or.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I am a I'd never played on a keyboard and mouse until I started playing in TARP. And so I have had to learn, and that's a weird transition, but
Mhm.
I'm getting better at it. But I do drive with a controller because I've tried to drive keyboard and mouse, and it is not pretty.
It's rough. There was some random day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna switch over to keyboard and mouse, and like, man, it was bad for a week, and then like, I'm not too terrible now, but I'm still pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, all right. So you and I kind of I sent you a message earlier. I think it was today actually. I think it was earlier today, and I said, "Hey, give me 5 random facts about you." And so you did that,
Hmm.
and so what we've got is actually a game that I want to play, and I want anybody that's in the chat. I want you are the you are the players of this game. All right.
Minus
So
my brother. He's probably in
okay. All right. So here's the game. Um, what we've done is we are we have 10 statements. Okay, we have 10 statements, and what we want you to do is I'm going to reveal them one at a time, and I want chat to respond whether this statement is from Ryan or if it's from myself. Okay, so is the statement that we say, is it from Ryan? Is he saying it, or am I saying it? And let's see. We'll just play guess who. So that's the name of the game. Okay, guess who. All right. So here we go. Number 10. The first one is this. Um, I used to own a business. I used to own a business. That's the first one. Is that me or is that Ryan? What do y'all think? I used to own a business. All right, we got some names coming in here. Several Ryans. Uh, I think people are thinking that I lack the ability to own a business, which is totally
there.
fine. Totally fine. Um,
Anybody can.
yeah, yeah. Anybody can own a business. Chat just wanted to let you know that anybody could do that. So, all right, Cap Willie did say me, so I appreciate that, Cap Willie. All right, so who was that? Was that me or was that you?
That was me.
That was you.
Yep.
What kind of business did you own?
So I actually owned a vape shop for 2.5
Okay.
years.
Okay.
And then kind of the market went south up here and I had to end up closing it.
Okay. All right. So a business owner, they were right. You were the one that owned the business. So
Hmm.
very good. So if you got that right, give you a mark. All right, here we go. Number 9. Number 9. I was in an award-winning choir. I was in an award-winning choir. Allie said, not that you lack the ability for it, it's just Ryan seems okay, like he'd own one. I got you. I'm with you. I feel that. I feel that, Allie. Let's see. All right. So Cameron says Ryan. I'm seeing a couple other people say Guido. They're thinking we're just going to go in order. I feel like, unless they've heard us sing before. Someone said, "Do we get to hear someone sing?" If Ryan wants to let you hear him sing, that's going to be totally up to you. All right, that one is mine. That one is mine. I was in an award-winning choir in high school. Fun fact: I joined the choir in 10th grade because of a girl,
Really?
and she was in that. She was in the choir, and I joined the chorus, the choir group at school because she was in there, and then I got stuck in it because I needed the credits, and so I ended up having to stay in that through my senior year, and my junior year we went to like a state thing, and we ended up winning the state competition. So
I was actually in choir up until 8.
okay,
So
awesome.
I believe I even have a picture in the other room of me in like elementary. So it
Okay,
like in my choir uniform.
dope. That's very cool.
So
Yeah, yeah. So choir. Somebody's saying sing. Um, he was Dilly. Dilly said he was a part of it, but definitely can't sing. Somebody, Dilly, ban yourself. Holy smokes, what are you talking about?
well,
Fine.
see, the thing is with a choir, you've got like 20, 30 people to sing with you, so it's not
Yep,
just you.
that's exactly right.
So you can be terrible, but the whole choir can.
That's right. And if you don't know the words, there's always the watermelon trick, and you just mouth the word watermelon, and that's
Mhm.
totally it'll totally work. I did that for 3 years. All right, here we go. Number 8. Number 8. I was once stuck in Mexico. I was once stuck in Mexico. Stuck, not. I think we'll have to. All right, so a couple people. One says Guido, one says Ryan. What do y'all think? I was once stuck in Mexico. Ricky says Guido. I can see Guido in Mexico. Really, Dilly? Come on, bro. Eagle says Ryan. That was actually me. That was actually me. I was. Fun fact. This is a crazy story. I was in Mexico when September 11th happened,
Oh,
and
wow.
we could not get back across because they had shut the border. And so we were stuck there for a couple of days. We had somewhere to stay and those kind of things, but that was a yeah that was a wild situation there for a minute. So
I bet.
um, went, yeah, we're not talking about that. All right, number 7. Here we go. I have 2 brothers. I have 2 brothers. I have 2 brothers. What do y'all think? Is that Ryan or is that me? Is that Ryan or is that me? A couple people saying Ryan. What do we think? Is it Ryan or is it me? What do you think here? Ricky says both, like it's a trick question. Um, all right, Ryan, that is you.
That is me.
You
That
have
is
2
me.
brothers.
Yep. I have 2 older brothers.
Okay, awesome, man. Very cool. Uh, so, fun fact Ricky is actually right. This was Ryan's statement about himself, but I also have 2 brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers and I have 2 sisters. No, I take that back. I have 3 sisters. I forgot about one. I have 3 sisters. But I am the only. So all of them are half brothers and sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of them are half brothers and sisters. So Cinnamon said, "Good try, Ricky." Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was. He went for it. So
Yeah,
yeah, we got to
he's
give Ricky some.
technically right.
Yeah, we got to give Ricky some points right there. That was legit.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm telling." All right, here we go. Number six. Number six. I was on a TV commercial as a kid. I was on a TV commercial as a kid. What do we think? What do we think? Allie says Guido. Cameron says Ryan. I was on a TV commercial as a kid. What do we think? A Ryan, a couple Guidos. That one was me. That one was me. I was on a grocery store commercial when I was a kid.
Fun fact, I
Okay.
was on a commercial for a local, like, Congress, like, not Congress, um, city councilman.
Nice.
So,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
So if you guessed either one of us, technically,
technically it would have been right.
you'd be right. You'd be right. All right, here we go. Number five. Uh-oh. Number five. All right, I love Mexican food. I love Mexican food. Which one of us do you think would say, I love Mexican food? Ryan. Everyone. Yeah. No, I agree, Dilly. That's great. We need to have a talk. I don't know you. Ryan. Yeah, it was Ryan. It was Ryan. I didn't put the second part because I felt like it would give it away, but the way you wrote it out was I love Mexican food and margaritas.
Yes.
And I felt like that would give it away, and so I didn't put the margarita part. But so big Mexican food fan.
Yes, that's actually what I had for dinner.
Nice.
I was debating on what to get for dinner, and I was like asking a couple other people. I was like, "What do I get for dinner?" And they're like, "Mexican." All right, that sounds.
You
I
can't go
actually
wrong.
like. I can stand on my front porch and see my favorite Mexican restaurant.
Oh
So
my, that would be absolutely dangerous. Are
yes,
you a all right? Here's a couple of things about Mexican food that I think are interesting to me. Are you one of those people that eat at the same Mexican food restaurant, or are you open to trying different kinds?
I'm open to any Mexican restaurant. Like it doesn't bother me.
Okay, all right,
But now, if I want to go for a margarita, I'll go to my one place because
got
they
your
have the
spot.
best. Yep.
I got you. What is your Mexican thing right now? Because like for me, I go through phases where I'll be into different things. So like right now, what is kind of your thing? Because I've got a
Um,
thing right now too.
Pollo con arroz, which is chicken and rice,
Yeah,
and it's cheese sauce. Oh, so good.
yeah.
I think I've got my whole family turned onto it. So
Okay, all right. I am right now. I am totally into street tacos right now. Just
see, we don't have any like good. I mean, it's authentic Mexican around here, but it's not like that authentic.
yeah. No, this isn't
So
authentic either. This is a fake version of it, and I love them. With some salsa verde, put it on there, bro. It makes me hungry. That might be what I do for lunch. We may end the stream and I just go get tacos tonight
hey,
somehow.
order it on DoorDash.
Shout out, yes sir, yes sir. All right. Number four, number four. Yeah, now I'm a flour. All right, that's a good question too. Are you a flour or a corn tortilla guy?
So at the Mexican restaurant, they have corn, usually like the taco corn tortillas.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter to me. Like if I buy it at the store, it's usually flour.
yeah. I'm 100% a flour tortilla guy all the way. I don't love corn tortillas, but if I have to, I have to.
Yeah. My brother, like I make chicken quesadillas all the time at home because they're quick, they're easy. And my brother always says that's gross because I use canned chicken.
Okay,
And he's like, that's just cat food. And I'm like, no, it's not. So he calls them my canned chicken quesadillas.
nice. All right. Here we go. Number four. I was hit by a softball in a co-ed game. I was hit by a softball in a co-ed game. Who do you think that is? I was hit by a softball in a co-ed game? Which one of us do you think would be in a co-ed softball game? Why is everybody saying me? Y'all don't think I can play softball? Is that what you're saying? You would be correct. I was hit. Um, so, so fun fact: I was pitching in a co-ed softball game. It was I was playing because my wife wanted to play, and so we found a co-ed team to play with, and I was the pitcher, and this girl ripped a shot back up at me. I missed it. It hit me in my no spot.
Oh,
I fell on the ground, and I ended up having to go to the hospital. It was a bad day.
oh, I bet.
Yeah,
That's a
it was
bad
a
day.
bad day.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was mine. All right, number three. Number three. I am the youngest of my siblings. I am the youngest of my siblings. Yeah, yeah. I'm the youngest of my siblings. A lot of Ryan. A lot of Ryan. Yeah, yeah. It was Ryan.
Yep. I'm the baby.
So
The
only brothers.
only brothers. Yes. So I was always picked on. Was-
Okay.
So,
All right. Now,
but
did they have you go and do their bidding, like the stuff that they didn't want to do? Did they have you go and do it?
no, not really. Kind of once I got older, like teenage years, and they kind of moved out. It ended up there was a saying like, "Oh, we live in Ryan's world." Like it's Ryan's world, we all just live in it. And then it
Yeah,
turned into Ryan's world, we're all just visiting. So
I got you.
now
Okay,
that like my parents have grandbabies and stuff, it's no for Ryan.
I got you. I got you. All right. I am the oldest of my crew, of my siblings. I'm the oldest. Matter of fact, when my mom had my two sisters, my two younger sisters, I was I think 14 when
Oh wow.
when the older of the two came along, and I was 16 when the younger of the two came along.
Yeah, we're pretty close in age. My older brother is the oldest is 32. The other one is 2 years, 29, and then I'm 27. So,
Okay, nice, awesome. All right, here we go. Two more. Number two, I have lived in only two states. I have lived in only two states. Which one of us do you think have lived in only two states? Two states. It would be physical states, not states of mind. Just wanted to clarify that. So a couple people saying Ryan, one Guido, another Ryan, a Guido. Yep, that was me. I have lived in only two states. I have lived in. I was born in Georgia, and I lived there. I've lived in Georgia the majority of my life, and then um, now I live in South Carolina, and I've lived here for a couple about 7 years now. So yeah,
I've always been in West Virginia.
always West Virginia. So
Yep.
uh, you know, technically, technically, I live in South Carolina. I work in Georgia, and I literally can be in Georgia in about 20 minutes. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so I live right on the line. I
Mhm.
travel back and forth to work every day. So all right, number one. I have a bachelor's in applied technology. I have a bachelor's in applied technology. Who do y'all think this is? Is it me or is it Ryan? Ryan. All right, I see y'all. I could have an education as well, guys. Just wanted to just point that out. Um, just wanted to point that out. I could have an education. It is Ryan. It is Ryan.
Yep. So
So go ahead. Tell us about that, man.
so I have always been into like computers and technology, and from a young age, I knew that's kind of what I was gonna do. Um, so I went to college and just started down that path and ended up getting my degree in network engineering. So,
Nice, man. Very cool. Very good. When did you know that you wanted to like get into computer stuff? Like at what point where you're like, you know what, I kind of dig computers.
man, I don't know because the first time I remember like something about a computer was my mother. Like we used to have a shared computer as a kid,
Yeah.
so like messing around there, and then we were at school, and I was looking in the computer like through the case of the old time computer and just like looking at the lights and see what was going on in there, and just it really interested me.
Yeah.
And, so it was it started at a very young age.
Okay. All right. Now, are you a build your own computer kind of guy? Is that your jam?
So, I actually bought mine custom.
Okay.
I wanted to build it, but the problem was the GPU, like, shortage was going crazy,
Okay.
so kinda couldn't get anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could not I could not build a computer. I guess I could YouTube it. I could probably figure it out. I don't know how to sitting right here today. Um, and I always have to call my buddy Ganker. I always have to be like, "Yo, bro, what's this light right here? What's that mean?" So he has to hold on. Let me figure it out. So
Yeah.
I'm not a. I like computers. I love them. I love technology. I love what they do when they're working, but how to make them work when they're not working, I don't. It's not my world.
Yeah, my, one senior project in high school was, like, one of our finals was, "Okay, here's all your parts, build your computer." So
Nice. Okay.
so
Very cool. All right. Well, that is Guess Who. So they did. I think people did fairly well. So
yeah.
thank you for playing that with me. All right, man. Well, let's do this. Let's kind of let's get into the TARP conversation a little bit, and that's kind of the reason that we are here. The people that are in chat right now are all in here. Is we are all a part of this community that is TARP. Obviously, you are the director of TARP,
Yep.
and so I want to talk about that. But let's start at the beginning. How did you get connected? Like how did you find TARP? How did you get involved? And what did that look like?
So, it was, like, August of last year. My brother's like, "Hey, there's this cop from South Charleston who plays on Twitch." He's like, "You should watch him." And so, I looked him up and I was just watching him each night that he was on, really enjoyed it, and I was like at the time, we were looking into FiveM roleplay, and me, my brother, and our friends, and we were looking at maybe trying to, like, make our own server.
Okay.
And, we were just, messing around trying with, develop it and see what we could do, what we couldn't do, because like, didn't really have that much experience with it. And, so I was like, "You know what?" The server kinda fell off and, we decided we're just gonna apply over here and, kinda get in, see what things are like, and just fell in love with it. So, that's
Okay.
kinda how it started.
Awesome, man. Very cool. So you had now, so you had experience with 5M before.
Mhm. A little bit, yeah.
Okay. And so you get into the community. What kind of drew you in? Like what is it? So you were in one and now you're in this different one. What was the difference and what kind of like stood out to you? What helped you connect with it?
So we played GTA online a lot. Like it was me, my brother, and our friend. We played really heavily online. Like each night we'd get in, we'd create like, our organization and do all that stuff. And then, it just like, then they on the side started doing like the actual role play. And,
Okay.
my PC wasn't in yet. So um, once my PC got in, we started, dilly-dallying around with our own little server, and nothing ever came up with it. So we found, TARP, and it just, we figured, it's easier just go with them. They've already got everything set up. Just it looks great. Looks like they've got everything going. So we just kind of came over here and really enjoyed it. Loved the atmosphere. You know, loved seeing Tony, seeing how the community was, and just really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Had this conversation with somebody the other day. We were talking about RP and GTA, and I, the conversation we had was essentially came from the question, what is the difference between, and this was them asking, what is the difference between GTA Online and GTA RP? And because you're, same basic world, same
Hmm.
mechanics for the most part. I mean, there are some differences in that. How would you answer that? Like, if somebody asked you that question, how would you answer that?
Um, RP, you're kind of creating your storyline, your actual character. You're getting invested in your character. With GTA Online, it's really just run, gun, try to make money,
Yeah,
and it's not like TARP is very realistic. We're economy based, so we try to base it very off real life. So it's just completely different. GTA Online is just you're running around, you're shooting other people, it's just complete opposite.
yeah, yeah. Do you see people that come from GTA Online to the Academy? They come to TARP. They come to RP. Do you see them having a hard time making that transition sometimes? And what do you think? What do you think is the light that clicks? That's like, yo, this is different. This isn't the same thing.
I'm not really sure, it's really hard for some people to understand, like, you're gonna have some of these people that come in, they wanna ruin somebody else's day. They
Yeah,
wanna come in, run, gun, RDM somebody, VDM somebody, and, it's just not cool. And, we have a great moderation team that, will handle all that. So
yeah,
I think once, they actually see that we're not gonna put up with stuff like that, that's kinda when it's gonna start clicking.
yeah. And I think it's, and I think I've talked about this before. I know I have in an interview or in a conversation like this before. Is I think a lot of it is culture, and the moderation team, in my opinion, does a really good job of that. And I'll give you an example. I was brand new to the server. I'd been in like 5 minutes, longer than that, but it had not been very long. And I remember I was out on that boat, that yacht that's out on the beach on Oceanside,
Mhm.
and somebody, I think Ganker I was with, had, I didn't know it, but he had jumped off the boat and I couldn't find him, and so I'm like swimming around, I can't find him, and so I get on the phone, I call him, I'm like, yo, bro, where are you at? And like within just a couple of minutes, a moderator, came in the game. They froze me, and they were like, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." And they just reminded me. They're like, "Yo, you can't do that." And it was just like, "Don't do it again. Do better." That kind of thing. But that's culture, because
Mhm.
now, today, and from that moment on, I wouldn't ever do that. But in that moment, I had completely forgot, and it had slipped my mind that's part of the rules. You don't do that.
Yeah,
But that
and
culture is built by moderators coming in saying, "This is how we do it here."
right, and, we have a lot of great established members that, will kinda be help other people
Yeah,
and just say, like, "Hey, that's not what we do," or, they'll just help others try to understand how it is, and it really helps. So people, like, actually seeing other people role play well is what's going to
yeah,
drive us to be better.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I think you celebrate. I think you correct the things that need to be corrected, and you celebrate the things that are done really well. And what is celebrated is oftentimes duplicated. And
Yep.
so, you just keep celebrating the people that are killing it with RP, and then people are like, you know what, I want to do that. I want to be celebrated as well.
Yep. Yep.
So
100%.
All right, so we had actually something really cool happen on one of our interviews we did just a couple of weeks ago. Is Denny Iron Assault was on here,
Mhm.
and he came on the stream as the director of TARP. But at the end of that interview, at the end of our conversation, man, he dropped a bombshell announcement. He said, "I am going to be stepping away as the director, and from this point on, Ryan is going to be the director." And I know that you had been doing some of those things previously, but that was the announcement part of it was there. So how, I mean, talk about that. Talk about that transition. Talk about that responsibility. Talk about stepping into that role. What is that like for you?
So I'll go back to where it all started. It was right after New Year's. I applied for mentor, and then they're like, "All right, we're getting rid of mentors." So they made me a moderator, and went through that, started being a moderator, kind of, you know, put my head down, just grinding, doing the work, doing whatever was needed, seeing what was, you know, what needed fixed and fixing it. And then, not soon after, moved up to admin, still doing the same thing, doing what needs done, moved up to senior admin, and then I was senior moderation admin for a while. And then Denny pulled me to the side and he's like, you know, you're killing it. He's like, I kind of want you to be the lead admin. I'm like, okay. He's like, one day I want to step away. He's like, there's other things I want to focus on, I want to do. He's like, you are the best person for this job. And I'm like, okay. Like I was completely shocked
Yep.
because, for me, I was moving very quickly and being promoted. And I very clearly remember having a conversation with Denny when I was an admin saying, I'm not ready for senior admin. I, don't think I'm ready. You're trusting me with being a senior admin. That's a huge responsibility. And he's like, you can't do anything that one hasn't been done before. And two, like, we can't fix. So it's really like the leadership that Denny has provided us, the staff team, and like his coaching me since like me becoming an admin it's prepared me for where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I wouldn't say like I've ever had like I would never be ready for this job.
Yeah.
There is so much to do with. I'm always being messaged, always, you know, looking, reviewing stuff, trying to see what issues are going on, trying to help out, think like, how are we going to move the community forward? What change can we make that's going to uh, impact the role play to make us look better?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over everything, really.
Sure.
So it's a lot of pressure. I do my best. I put my heart into it, and at the end of the day, that's I know I've done my best, and I've tried my hardest, and I'm here to make sure the community's happy, everything's taken care of, and Tony and Denny are happy with my performance, and yeah, it's a lot. I enjoy it. I really do. I love TARP. TARP's my home. So
Yeah. Yeah. What is so? Let me ask a couple questions inside of that. So you are, so you there is a difference in getting ready to lead and then leading. So like
yes.
when you're getting ready, you can kind of stumble along a little bit. You can ask questions. Not that you can't ask questions when you're the lead guy, but it's like when you're dubbed, this is your deal. And Denny was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yo, effective immediately. I am not the director, and Ryan is." And that mantle essentially is being passed over to you. What do you think has been? Is there? Or let me phrase it this way: Has there been something where you were like, man, I did not expect that, or this was more challenging than what I thought it was going to be, or is there anything like that that's kind of jumped up on you?
No, not yet. I have sat back and I've seen some of the fights that Denny has went through, you know, throughout his tenure, and it's just I've not ever come close to any of it. Um, I always reach out to Denny a lot. We talk almost every day,
Yeah,
if not every other day about something. I always pick his pick his brain on something, be like, "Hey, what," and try to address stuff. So I really, you know, me in that lead admin spot, it was a great time for me to um prepare
yeah,
for director because I was essentially kind of doing the work as director, but
sure,
Denny was still there as director.
sure.
So
Okay, all right. Um, so since that time, the community has had a major overhaul. And,
yes.
and so and really you've been at the helm of this thing for just a few short months, as the director with that stamp on your
Mhm.
chest, and then then lead through a really big transition to TARP 3.0.
Yes.
Um, talk about that. I mean, talk about that for a minute. Talk about like what that process is, the challenges there, kind of what you guys faced walking through that. What is that even like what does that look like to do that? Because like to me, sitting here, I have no idea. Like, do you just press a button and then everything changes? Like, what does that all look like to make a transition to a TARP 3.0?
Man, I wish it was that easy just to press the button and it was
And I
done.
know it's not. I know
Woo.
it's not,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I wish it was that easy. So unofficially, the TARP 3.0 really started back in middle of May. We kind of started reviewing the server really heavily, um, for like server performance, like optimizing all our scripts, optimizing our database, working with our host provider, trying to see what we could do to get the server to perform better. And most people will know, like, when I was an admin and a senior admin, I also did development. I was a developer. I helped
right,
Evans a lot. Evans is amazing. He taught me so much. And then like so me helping on development kind of also has helped me prepare for director, but in like reviewing all that stuff, like we're getting ready to start the new production cycle. I think that was June 1. So I was like, all right, we got this 2 weeks. We'll focus on server performance. We got that. And then we started our production cycle. We kind of thought, all right, we're good. The server's performing better. We'll be fine. Well, come the end of July, I think it was, we were like, okay, servers starting to not perform as well as again. And a lot of that has to do with the growth that we're seeing. And we're having more population in the city, right around like 60, 70. We're having some performance issues. We tried everything. We reached back out to the provider, and it we we reached out to all kinds of developers. Like, I think I counted the other day, I'm in 37, 38 development discords just to try and like like reach out, help, try and like it's different script developments, pick people's brains and see what we could do to do better. And everyone's like, it's your server host, it's your server host. And we're like, okay, like, we just switched server hosts at the beginning of this year. And,
right.
we had this crazy server that was, um, this really powerful server that it's future proof. And it ended up not being. So that was, kind of end of July, beginning of August. We kind of decided like yeah, we're probably gonna have to look into a new server host.
Sure.
And you know, I had the development team, um, go do the research, see what host they wanted. They brought it back to me. Dealt with a lot of the communications with the server host, figuring out what we were going to do, what we were going to buy, things like that. And I worked with Tony and the development team, got it purchased, and they started. Um, I mean, thankfully we have Evans because that man is a genius.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I was anticipating we would have to download all of our files and upload them all to the new server, and no, he just r- did a command and sent them all over, and it was like a couple hours, and we had all of our current server over, or our old server to our new server, and
Wow.
then they started the work, and I'm like, all right, guys, you got 5 weeks. Said, we got a plan. You got 5 weeks. We're gonna start. And so they started, and we kind of got a list from everybody what we wanted to do. We were getting ready to go into the new production cycle,
Yeah.
focus on the LEO. We got that sponsorship with Code 3 development
Yeah.
for all those cop cars. So we're like, yeah, this is perfect. We did all that, and it just lined up so well. And Evans, he's like, I want TARP 3.0 to be the TARP 3.0 that it was supposed to be, and the QB that we were supposed to be on. And they just hammered everything out, got it done. It there was nights like countless nights that the developers were staying up 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning
Wow.
working on these scripts and trying to get the new server configured, and down to the crunch. You know, Trav, because when I got director, I told Trav, I said, I'm dropping my developer role. I said, I'm not gonna have time for it anymore.
Yeah.
But he sent me a message and he said, "Man, I need you." I said, "All right, that's fine." So there was like, I think it was 3 nights that I was up till 3 a.m. trying to get do helping them get their stuff done, and
Sure.
getting up at 7 a.m. the next morning, going to work, trying to keep everything going.
Yeah.
So, it going to TARP 3.0 was just a major project, and I think we did such a smooth job. Um, like, the transition was quick, everything was done, efficiently. Evans, like, we had a crunch line, like, coming to the end, because Evans was going on vacation last weekend, and we're like,
Nice.
Evans is going on vacation. We want the server, like, we don't want to wait for Evans to come back to drop the server. So there was like 3 days we were crunching to get everything done right. And we're like, we did our VIP testing, we did QC testing, we had staff team in there. Like, we were testing so much in that server. And it we had all our bugs trying to fix, and just I mean, just a huge shout out to those developers for
Yeah.
all the work that they do. It is just unreal.
And I don't think it should go unsaid that though the time that they spent, everything that you laid out is for volunteers.
Yeah.
These are
No,
people that have volunteered their time to create an experience for other people. That should not be overlooked.
no, not at all. No staff member in TARP is currently paid. Like, nobody's paid, you know. It we all volunteer our time. Like, I don't come to do anything in TARP to gain any monetary benefit. Like,
Yeah.
it just would feel wrong to me. I have gained so much outside of, like I've gained friends, like friends that I can, like, people I could say, like, probably will be lifelong friends
Yes.
like, from being here. And it's just something that's just crazy. I mean, the
Well,
community
true.
value is insane.
No, absolutely. And so true contribution comes from how I can help, not what I can get.
Exactly.
That is true contribution. That's true for anything that you contribute to. It is what can I do for you, not what can I get out of this.
Yep.
And for you and for our the entire team of people that serve behind the scenes, that is their heart. It is
Mhm.
what can we do? How can we help? How can we add value? And in return, what you just said, I think is great. You get something out of that, but you're not looking for what you get. You're looking for what you can give.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I I put in so much time here and like I enjoy it. Like I love to help out. I love to give my time and help make this a better place for other people. I help to, you know, do what I can for Denny and Tony to make their lives easier with the server. I do what I can to help the staff team and, make it not so stressful for them. So it, it's just me being here trying to do what I can to help others in the community is really what it's all about.
Yeah. No, and man, I appreciate the effort and the time because I know that, and I know that there are hours that nobody will ever see and never know, and there are conversations that will never be known beyond the people that had them, but they're always ongoing.
Yep.
So thank you for that, and I appreciate what you do and what your team, the entire team, does to make it happen.
Well, thank you.
All right, let's talk about this. So you've been in TARP for a year. You mentioned your character, your in-game character that you have. What's a funny story, man? What's something that you've gotten into, whether a long time ago or even recently, that man, it just every time you think about it, it cracks you up, or something like, what, I'll never forget when that happened.
Man, there are so many. Um, so I like doing like funny names, like puns as names. So my big crim character that like everybody knows me as is Just in Time.
Okay.
So like, what's up, Justin? And like they ask me like, oh, what's your name? Oh, it's Just in Time, like just in time. And so we were starting the bounty hunters, and I fly into the city, and Denny's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Bo." It's like, "Huh?" I'm like, Bojangles. And he's like, "Bro, I can't stand you." He's like, he's like, "You are so dumb." I'm like, I mean, that's just how I am. Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
try to do the play on words and the funny stuff
Yeah.
and I think like I had one. There's one I can't say it. Denny knows exactly what I'm talking about. He made me change it. Um, um, then there was so my gang character is Declan. His nickname is Doc. I had to change it. His original name was Doc. Um, Kneecap. I have Kneecap.
Okay.
Mainly because everyone's like, "What's your name?" I say Kneecap, and they're like, "Why is it Kneecap?" Well, I'm gonna bust your kneecap. So I don't know. I do weird things like that, and then so it's just interesting. But a really funny story is I'm just so weird. Like I was doing a bank robbery with Denny, and I think he has a TikTok about it. And I needed to steal a car, so I stole the car from the local, and I ran over the local and just parked the car on top of the local.
Yes, that's a TikTok.
So
Yes.
it's a TikTok. So and then man, like the time where, we were we were running around, I think it was like a Saturday afternoon or something. We were running around up in the city, up in the county. We had these bikes or these cars that we didn't know jumped whenever you honked the horn. And we were one of us got pulled over, and um so we The rest of us decided, okay, we're gonna do a code 3 stop. So there's like 4 or 5 of us. One got pulled over by an officer. We were like, all right, we're gonna do a code 3 stop behind the officer. And one of us hit our horn and the car jumped. And then I hit my horn and the car jumped and it jumped over the police officer. I know it was crazy. Like it was just
That's
insane.
funny.
So there's just so many. So
Yeah, and that is one of the things about obviously community, obviously relationships, but just a good time. Just having fun. Whether you are in the middle of something, nefarious that you shouldn't be into,
mhm.
or just riding around, chit chatting with your buddies.
Yep.
Just having a good time is a really beautiful part of the community that I think is part of what makes it such a unique place and a unique community to be a part of.
Yeah, it does. I mean, everybody here is just so friendly and it's like a family. Like everybody here just gets along well. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. What can you tell us about what's coming up? Anything coming down the pipe, TARP related? Obviously, we just had a huge transition. We just had a big makeover. But is there anything coming down the pipe that you can talk about that's like, hey, this is something to be looking out for?
So every like VIPs really, really, really wanted housing. Housing was something like they wanted player owned housing. And we weren't able to squeeze it into TARP. And that's something that I believe the dev team is, kinda working on.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me 'cause
Yeah.
I don't want Evans and them mad at me. But, I try to keep them on my good. But, that's kinda what my next focus is for, like, bringing things into the city is gonna
Okay.
be, some of the things we're missing is, like, housing, player-owned businesses, and then kinda, like, fine-tuning some things that, we currently have and seeing what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that'll be good. And I remember when we had Evans on for his interview. Because again, listen, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So the fact that I don't know anything about developing at this point should not shock you. I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about DIY. I don't know anything about how to put a computer together. I also don't know anything about developing. But in that conversation, he just kind of talked about how there's these ideas, but then there's got to be an actual ability to do it. So just
Mhm.
because you have the idea and it sounds great and it sounds cool, it doesn't always mean that there is a way to literally functionally make that happen inside of the city.
Yeah, and, like, someone will be like, "Oh, hey, why don't we do it this way? Like, why can't we" I can't remember. Somebody said they wanted to do something, and I'm like it was just off the wall, crazy, like, crazy realistic, and in my brain, I'm like, "No, I know the game mechanics, I know what the game can do, I know the coding," I'm like, "Okay, can we do it? Can we do it? Like, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this." It's just like it's not always possible. So, there's some things that are, some things that aren't. There's so many developers in the FiveM world that you never know. Someone may have created it, someone may have not.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what does that look like? So if somebody gets an idea, do are you just going on different sites, or do you kind of have an idea already like, yeah, that's not possible?
Usually I have like the idea, yeah, that's not possible. So, like knowing the FiveM mechanics and how FiveM is structured, it usually I can say, yeah, that's not possible.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. Because I know I've been in like VIP meetings or different other meetings and people throwing out, or like in Gen Chat or, wherever that people
yeah.
are posting ideas. And sometimes you see things, you're like, you know what, that would be dope, but I'm not sure that that's an actual real thing.
Right. Yeah, we have like the VIP suggestions. And, I'll go through them all the time, and it's like, yeah, that's not possible. That's totally we're not able to do that. And then, some things I'm like, "Man, why didn't I think of that?" Like, that
Yeah.
is something we could totally be doing right now. So,
Okay. All right. Hey, here's a question I don't know that I've ever really asked. I'll ask you.
sure.
What is your experience in? Obviously, we all know Officer Messer. He is
Mhm.
the he is the reason that we are here. He is the reason that we are talking about this. What is your relationship with him like, and what is it like working with him as far as like his input in the community and that kind of stuff?
So working with I remember my first message with Tony. And that was Evans told me to send him a script over to get purchased. And I'm like, am I really sending something over to the owner to like instruct him to do something? Like I was nervous.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, cool, yeah, I'll get it." And then like it got done. So, me and Tony, we work well together. Outside the city, Tony's a goofball. Like,
Yeah.
you see him on stream, like,
Yeah.
he is just like he is on stream in real life.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to the community, he is super, focused, just like he is super serious. Like, he wants the best for the community. He wants the best for every individual, every member. And, it's he is just a great guy. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I I I, I feel that. Like I sense, and in my communication, you've had way more communication with him than I ever have. But in my communications with him, he is very genuine. He is very
mhm,
sincere, and and that's one of the things that I like the most about him.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
all right, tell me this, and then we'll get to some Q&A stuff
Okay.
with the chat. Chat, if you've got any questions, man, go ahead and start putting them in. We will we will ask Ryan. Officer Messer said he wants to hug you right now. Tee hee hee kiss. So, all right, tell me about this. Tell me about the ice cream giveaway that we did, that TARP community did a couple of weeks ago. Just kind of share like your perspective. Just kind of share like what that day was like.
Man, that day was amazing. Um, we had people from all over the nation come in. We had, Ricky from Washington, Cole from Texas, you know, Florida, eh, all kinds of people from everywhere
Yeah,
that came in. And getting, you know, coming together for the kids was just amazing. And, all being there to help do what we could for that event. Like, we had the benefit of we were coming together to see each other, but we were mainly there for that ice cream social. Like,
sure.
that is what our duty was that weekend. So anything that needed to be done, like that's what we were there to do. And it was just insane to see, how many people came in, got to meet us, and we got to meet them and see like how we're actually bridging the gap and impacting the community with the message of like we're to think that we're just a gaming community that is actually doing community outreach,
Yeah,
and the amount of people that we got to interact with and seeing Tony with all the kids, and the EMS was there, and the fire department was there, and it was insane. Like it was just overwhelming to see like the turnout and how much it actually means that we are actually bridging the gap.
yeah. And and for me, that is, and I love the GTA stuff, and I love the cutting up, and the riding around, and all of that stuff. But what I love the most is that there's an opportunity for good and for
Mhm.
good things to happen, and literally, I mean literally, for potential life change and perspective change to take place. And to me, that is uh, that mission is the driving force. Now, again,
Yeah.
people come because of TikTok and people come because of the game. But if you stick around long enough, you realize this is way more than a game.
100%. Like, that's kind of what I seen at first was like, oh, it's just a game, like get in, play with other people. And then like the sense of community and the mission that we're actually pushing here is so much more than just the game.
Yeah.
Like the game is the platform for us to get out there and like show who we are,
Yes.
and then we take it from there.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I'm excited to help out with all the future events and doing whatever I can to help out Denny and Tony. And it's just I'm so grateful to be part of the community.
Yeah. No, me too. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I found it. I'm thankful to be a part of it, and I'm thankful that it's something that connects with my heart. It's a mission that I support, bridging the gap, and then it goes beyond that. It's helping communities and building communities. So I love all of those things. So
Yep.
all right, hey, let's go to some questions, man. You ready? You excited? You pumped up?
I'm ready. Yep.
All right. So if you have a question for Ryan, let's get into it and make it happen here. What's something you want to ask? What's something that you want to know? You've got the director of TARP right here. So let's let the questions fly. T Dubs actually asked a really good question. When words are difficult, Ryan. I'm so sorry. When GTA 6 drops, are we going to get a TARP 4.0? You know how
Oh
things are.
man.
Like when you got one thing, you're already thinking about what's next.
Oh yeah, we're thinking about what's next. We play off of the FiveM platform. GTA 5 is just the base, and then you have the FiveM. So it really depends if like there's 6M, 7M, 8M. It really just depends on where that goes and what is the next platform base that we're going to be on. But we intend to be around for a while. There's no doubt about
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, how long? And this is something I don't know. That's I'm asking. How long did it take for 5M to come out after GTA 5? Like how long
that.
has that been a thing? Do we know that?
I don't know that myself.
Like I know obviously GTA 5 has been around for a minute. It's been around for a good bit of time, but like how long after that did they make the ability to make the modifications in the 5M?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. So, Fast Traveler wants me to ask if you
Gosh.
remember how to remove permissions.
I will never, ever live this down.
Okay, all right, you
So
gotta
if
you gotta tell the
I
story
have
then.
to tell the story. So if anybody remembers, and I'm gonna come clean, I'll own it. I don't care. I've owned it before, and I got crap forever. Um, if anybody remembers around like the July 4th time frame, like the server went down for like 3 days.
Okay, yeah.
So I was in there developing, and I had to do a permission change, and I accidentally entered the wrong command because our server is Linux based. And I did Linux in college, and so I was a little rusty, but I accidentally hit the root folder instead of the folder that I was in, and that changed the whole server
Oh no.
permission. And it completely wiped us out. Like nobody was able to access anything. Like
Nice.
even like we have Evans even sent me a message screenshotting the ticket from our host that says, whenever you do this as sudo user, make sure they know what they're doing. And he's like, I'm not trying to trying to scold you, but this is what they said. I'm like, I know. So everybody knows I changed the permissions on the server and broke it for 3 days.
Nice. So a 3-day fix means that's a pretty big deal. Like it's
Oh, yes. It was I mean, it was broken. No, but, like, and I mean, we experienced issues for a month at least. Like, nobody could like, all the junior developers couldn't put files in the server, like, oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And
nice.
then I think it was, like, the next day or something, I was trying to fix my riding tractor, and I called Denny, and he's like, "What'd you do? Change the permissions on it?" And I'm like, "Oh god." I don't live it down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's one of those things they'll probably go with you um, for a minute. As a matter of fact, as soon as that question was asked, I know you're not watching the stream, but it lit up with comments.
oh, I
Uh,
bet. I bet.
the whole it brought the stream alive
I bet.
when that question was asked.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this question: do you play a Leo character, or have you ever played a Leo character?
So so I played um when was that? So whenever LSPD, I was the first round of hires for LSPD.
Okay,
And I just got
I was too.
mod, and my character's name was Rob Banks. Another
Okay,
play on words.
okay,
So, I was getting into the staff stuff, and I actually stepped away. I was like, "Hey," Steven was the chief at the time. I'm like, "Hey, I don't have time for it. I'm focusing on staff. I'm gonna have to step away." So I ended up stepping away and focusing on staff, and I was doing more developing and more staff stuff than I was, in the city.
yeah,
And that's still true to this day. But I try to get in and play around. But now that Denny and I have kind of resurrected the marshal service to what it is. I get to play a Leo now. So
okay, all right,
and
cool,
I'm learning. I'm still learning,
yeah.
but
So, what do you prefer? Do you like the Leo side? Do you like the Crim side? Do you have a preference? Do you like one as much as the other?
as long as I'm not playing alone, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just I don't want to get in there and just you know try to play by myself. Like it's more enjoyable for me to play with others. Like
I agree.
I do well off feedback. So like playing with others, it's so much better.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, man. It's I have driven around the city all by myself before and be like, this sucks, But
Yeah.
then I've rode
Yeah.
around with other people, not doing a thing, and be like, man, it's the greatest day ever. So
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just the atmosphere of being with somebody and hanging out with them. Like even if you're in city, like it's just I don't know. It's so chill.
yep, no, absolutely. Canada 3372 asked this question. There's a story here too, bro. You're
Oh
gonna
no.
have to tell us. Do you ever plan on getting a quieter keyboard ever? Staff VC wants to know.
All right. So in the beginning, it used to be Ethan. Like Ethan was known for his keyboard clicks. And then I had a quadcast mic, and for some reason it would pick up my keyboard clicks. Like I have a really noisy keyboard. And it just for some reason like the sensitivity went really crazy on it and it was picking it up. And I I finally just went and bought a Go XLR and a new mic, and I'm like, I have to have something. Like everyone's complaining about my keyboard, but
Nice.
it's just I don't know. I type hard on my keyboard, and I'm always typing, talking to somebody, dealing with something, and
Yeah, there you go.
it's what
I
it
like it.
is.
I have a loud keyboard myself, so I understand. I understand that pain. Um, what is okay? So here is another question for you. What is to you the most important thing for a new person that's coming into the community to Like somebody's brand new. What do you feel like is maybe the number one piece of information that they need to know or understand or get when they come in?
One, read the rules. That's gonna be my probably number one.
Okay.
Two is always ask questions. Like if you need help, mentorship chat is there.
Yeah.
Ask help. If you need help like with anything, something's not working, you don't know how to do something, reach out for help. A mentor, a moderator, open a ticket. The staff team, we're here to help you. So,
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And as somebody who came into the city, I knew nothing about GTA RP. I knew nothing about how to play with a keyboard and mouse. The mentorship part for me was probably my greatest friend, especially in the very beginning, just because that and that little piece of paper that they gave me to print off so that I'd know how to do everything. Just
yeah.
because I didn't know, but it was a place for me to go and ask, and that really helped me to become more confident and be able to navigate my way through more. So
Yep. Our mentorship program is, none like any other because it's very unique. It's we set we're different by that because we bring people in who may not know how to RP. We show them the city. We show them how to do things, and then you're still here in the mentorship program for 2 weeks,
right,
and you're able to be helped and do whatever, ask questions, and I think that is what really sets us apart.
yeah, no, absolutely. It was instrumental for me because honestly, I mean, this sounds crazy to think about now, but I literally didn't even know how to walk because I mean, I had my controller, but like
Mhm.
I didn't know, you know, I didn't know anything about how to get around, and so it was very. And if there wasn't that piece, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have sustained just because you try something a couple times and you suck at it. You're like, I'm out. I'm just going to do something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that piece. I love that piece is there. T Dub says GTA 5 release date and GTA 5N release date were 2 years apart.
Oh wow.
So he went and did some research. So 2013, and then 5M was released in 2015. So
Hmm.
thank you for that, T Dubs. Appreciate that piece of trivia and piece of information. Well, very good. All right. Well, man, I've had you on here for a long time. I appreciate again so much. I know you're a busy dude and you got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes and hanging out with me tonight. I want to kind of end our conversation here for you know give you an opportunity to just kind of have an open floor and what is it that you are the director, you lead the way as far as our community goes. Is there anything that you want to share? Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you want to remind the community? What is it that you'd what was it what is it is there anything that you just want to kind of put out there?
We are more than just the game.
Yeah,
That is something to always remember.
yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I agree. And we talked about this a moment ago. I love the game. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You make friends, those kind of things. But the mission and the community are the heart
yep,
of Heartbeat. And so it's almost, I don't know that you could all ever take the game completely away, but it's not the driving force. It is the introductory, but it's not the heart.
yep. And the staff team does an amazing job. I appreciate every single one of them. And the development just kills it every single time.
Yeah,
They go above and beyond. And you know, we all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Denny and Tony. And, it's just, they're the ones to thank because they're the ones who started it all.
yeah,
So, huge shout out to them for, creating TARP and having it all here for us.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Well, sir, thank you so much for coming in.
I appreciate it.
Man,
It's
I
great.
appreciate it, and it's been a great conversation. I appreciate you coming in and just kind of walking through and talking about you know the life as a director and where we are as TARP and what we have to look forward to. And I think I think things are bright and positive and
Yep,
looking up.
they are. They are. We've got a lot on the horizon, so everybody should be prepared.
Yeah, no, that's good, and I'm excited about it. So again, let me just say, I'm sure I speak for everybody that's in here and everybody that is maybe some that aren't or that'll watch it later. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the time that you invest. I genuinely appreciate it, and man, I look forward to seeing you in the city.
Alrighty, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, brother. Hope you have a great night.
Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.